Hi guys, in this video we are going to be making our septic field. My mom has the license, so we are going to be doing it all ourselves. And right now we are digging the first trench for our septic field, and we are digging until we get to the fine sand because that is the kind of sand that we need. Before making our septic field, we counted and planned where everything was going to go. In the rules for every house, it matters how many people are going to be living in it, how many rooms are in the house, and the quality of the soil where you're making your septic field. We have fine sand, and we counted that we are going to have to make 4 trenches, and our septic field will be 60 meters squared. So we have finished digging the first trench for our septic field. Now we are putting rocks into the first trench because in the rules, first you put 15 centimeters of rocks, then we would have a pipe going over top, and then it would be covered with more rocks. We are not going to be putting in the pipe yet, but we are filling the trench with rocks, and once it is filled with rocks, my mom is using the laser level to make sure that all of the rocks are level in our septic field. Now that we have finished with the first trench, we are going to work on the second trench. We are tying a rope from one end of where the trench is going to be to the other so that we can have a really straight line. And then my dad is going to use the spray paint to paint on the ground right under where the rope is so he will know exactly where to dig. All of the trenches are 3 feet wide, and we are digging with a finish bucket so that we don't disturb the soil. You can see that we haven't fully finished filling the first trench with rocks. That is because we ran out of rocks, so we ordered 2 more trucks full of 12 yards of rocks each, and we think that should be enough rocks. Now that the rocks have been delivered, we can finish filling our first trench with rocks. So we have finished filling the first 2 trenches with rocks, and now we are going to start working on the third one. We are measuring where the third one is going to be, just like we did for the second one by tying a rope and then spray painting the ground. We are making spaces in between all of the trenches because you need to in the rules, and you're not allowed to just have one big block of rocks. All of the trenches have to have spaces in between them. So we have finished digging the third trench, and my dad is using the bobcat to move the dirt to the front of our yard. Then, just like with all of our other trenches, we are going to fill it with rocks. And the reason we put rocks into our trenches is so that when the water will come to the septic field, it will have lots of space in the rocks so that no puddles are formed in our backyard, and it will slowly go into the ground. We have changed the bucket on our excavator to a smaller one so we can dig a smaller trench, because before we make our fourth trench for our septic field, we are going to be burying protective membrane into the ground. This is so that the water from the septic field does not go into our drainage pipes, which we have going all around the house, and instead the water would go deeper into the ground like it's supposed to. We had some protective membrane left from when we did our foundation for our house, and this membrane is 4 feet wide, so it will perfectly go into the ground and will protect our drainage pipes for sure. Also, we planned out our septic field so well that our protective membrane is exactly 4 feet away from our house, so it will be far away from our drainage pipes. So we buried the protective membrane in the ground. Here's how it turned out. I think it looks great. And now we can dig out the last trench for our septic field. have finished digging our last trench for our septic field. Now we are filling the trench with rocks, moving the dirt to the front of our yard, and finishing up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching to the end, and thank you to everyone who liked and subscribed. Bye!